Greetings, Local 2627 sisters and brothers. Today is Tuesday, May 28th, the day after Memorial Day. And let me thank you with my really thank you deep down. And let me say hoorah to all the people who has actually spent time in the military, whether you were in combat or not. You still would put yourself out there in front, on the front lines, to make sure that we were able to perpetuate the American way. As most of you know, I was a Marine in Vietnam. 1967, 1968. So I understand the sacrifices the brothers and sisters are making for us. You don't have to go to combat, but you're still making a sacrifice because you're supporting the people who are in combat and you're leaving your families behind. So again, hoorah to all my brothers and sisters in the military. Let's talk about this mayoral thing that's coming up. From what I see and when I'm looking at the papers, there's at least 9 people running for mayor. At least 9. The more people that run, really what it does is it kind of dilutes the person that we want to be for mayor. This could be an intentional thing. Never think that there's not conspiracies going on. Now, I was reading an article in the paper today that our city budget is $71.8 billion. Now, $7.8 billion of this would be a retroactivity for the uniforms being the police, the fire, and the sanitation department. So they're saying that 11% of the current budget is going to be applied to, if they do it, retroactivity is going to be applied to the uniform services. They haven't even considered DC 37 members, the DC 37 locals, or the locals like OSA. I'm sorry, the unions like OSA or CWA 1180, they're not even talking about them. They only talk about the police, the fire, and the sanitation, and that's $7.8 billion. So in other words, we're not even viable candidates. You need to keep this in your mind. This is serious stuff. This is very serious stuff. We've went 3 years without a contract. Do you know what the tolls are on the Hudson River bridges? Have you seen what the tolls are on the East River bridges? Do you know that you're paying extra money besides the transit authority? You know you're paying extra money if you buy a new Metro card? And meanwhile, while they don't have the money to give us anything, the current mayor has increased his wealth by $22 billion, and his salary is $1 a year. I don't care what anybody has to say about that. There's something going on, and we need to take a hold of our city again. November, you need to go out there and vote. That's the bottom line. And all I can say is don't vote for Quinn because she's Bloomberg. That being said, there's going to be no Labor Day parade because we have other issues that we're dealing with. But what I will say is on June 12th, there's going to be a contract demonstration at 1600, 4 o'clock for you civilians. There's going to be a contract demonstration on the City Hall steps at 4 p.m. It's very important. If you have to use an hour or 2 of annual leave to be out there, you need to be out there because this is your livelihood. This is your livelihood we're talking about. Remember, when they talked about the $7.8 billion for the uniforms for the police, fire, and sanitation department, they did not include DC 37. So do they think, because remember, the mayor said he's willing to sit down with us for negotiations as long as we agree that we're not going to take retroactivity for the last 3 years. Nonsense. I'm not letting you go out like that. And the only way I cannot let you go out like that is my backup. And you know who my backup is? My backup is the union members in 2627 and the union members in DC 37. We need to show solidarity. This is your livelihood that we're talking about. We need to be out there on June 12th. There's going to be a form on our website. Excuse me, I have to sneeze. Allergies. Excuse me. There's going to be a form on our website so you can sign up to volunteer at one of the 5 campaign spots that DC 37 is setting up to go out there and campaign. When DC 37 announces who they are endorsing, we need to get behind this candidate because they're only going to endorse a person who has our concerns and our issues in their hearts. If they don't have that, we don't need them. We need to get on top of it. It's very important that on June 12th, you get out there and show solidarity because it's your contract. It's your contract. November, you need to get out there and vote and tell people who to go vote for. Because again, it's your contract. If you don't get the right mayor, we have a problem. Now, on a more positive note, something that I've been fighting for 2 years is finally official. You know, about a year ago, we voted on having a scholarship for the children of the members in good standing of Local 2627. And because of Sandy, it put us off track. And I pushed. I said, look, we got to do something about it. We can't let Sandy disrupt what we have to do. So I got the committee together, the scholarship committee together, and they came up with a proposal. They handed it to the executive board of 2627. The executive board agreed on it unanimously. Last Tuesday, we took it to the general membership. The general membership agreed on it unanimously. It's now going to be in effect, effective June 1st. There will be forms for you to sign up to have your children apply for college scholarships. We're giving out $10,000 a year. Between 5 scholarships, $2,000 a piece. It's going to be a lottery system. The lottery will be chosen on the general membership meeting in September, or I should say in September's. And everybody, please, if you have a child that's going to college and they meet the criteria, and the criteria, like I'm saying, is on our webpage, have your child submit this documentation or her documentation. This is a great thing because we don't throw the big parties like everybody else throws. But we try to give you back in ways of education reimbursement. We try to do between $50,000 and $60,000 a year. We try to give it back in good and welfare, and we try to help your own funds, which is probably another $50,000, $60,000 a year. And it's a great thing that we're doing. And remember when I came into office, we had about $150,000 in our treasury. We're up to we're over $400,000 now. So we're not jerking your money around. We're spending the money on our members. And we're proud to spend the money on our members because it's our money. I'm a member too. So remember, June 1st, you will see the application and the definition of our child's scholarship. Please look at it on the webpage. Good and welfare. Unfortunately, our secretary, Terrence Dunn, his mother passed away this weekend. We're sorry to hear that, of course. Leonard Milson from NYCHA, his mother passed away. I'm sorry to hear that also. Ethan Dumeyer, a former secretary of 2627, is recovering from a surgery last week. And again, as always, our empathy and our sympathy and our love goes out to these members who are suffering some type of tragic trauma in their lives. Until I speak to you next week, this is Robert Ajayi in solidarity. Have a good one.